Hi, this is Nafizuddin from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Hope all of you are fine. My father's name is Muhammad Nazimuddin and my mother's name is Gulnahar Begum, and I'm married to Sarah. Alhamdulillah. Uh, in my last session of the meaning of the names of suras, I have just informed up to surah number 75. So this would be the last page, inshallah, and we all can start memorizing the full Al-Quran regarding the meaning of the name of suras. Alhamdulillah. Surah number 76, Surah Al-Insan, or the man, verses 31. Surah Al-Insan, or the man, chapter 76, verses 31. Surah number 77, Surah Al-Mursalat, those sent forth, verses 50. Surah Al-Mursalat, chapter 77, verses 50. Surah Al-Mursalat, those sent forth, chapter 77, verses 50. Surah number 78, Surah An-Naba, or the great news, verses 40. Surah An-Naba, or the great news, verses 40. Surah An-Naba, chapter 78, Surah An-Naba, or the great news, chapter 78, verses 40. Surah number 79, Surah An-Naziyat, those who tear out, verses 46. Surah An-Naziyat, chapter 79, Surah An-Naziyat, those who tear out, chapter 79, verses 46. Surah number 80, Surah Abasa, or he frowned, verses 42. Surah Abasa, or he frowned, chapter 80, verses 42. কি নাম কি বলেন তো আম্মা? আব্বাস। আচ্ছা, পরে দেখব ইনশাল্লাহ। নাম্বার 81, আচ্ছা, নাম্বার 80, আচ্ছা। Surah Abasa, or he front, chapter 80, verses 42. Number 81, Surah At-Tawqir, or the folding up, verses 29. Surah At-Tawqir, or the folding up, verses, chapter 81, verses 29. Number 82, Surah Al-Infitar, নাকি এটা ইনফিতর, আচ্ছা ধরে নিলাম ইনফিতর। নাম্বার 82, Surah Al-Infitar, or the cleaving asunder, verses 19. Surah Al-Infitar, or the cleaving asunder, chapter 82, verses 19. Number 83, Al-Mutafifin, or Tatfif, or dealing in fraud. Verses 36. Surah Al-Mutaffifin or Tatfif or dealing in fraud, chapter 83 verses 36. Number 84, Surah Al-Inshikak or the rending asunder, verses 25. Surah Al-Inshikak or the rending asunder, chapter 84 verses 25. Number 85, Surah Al-Buruj or the zodiacal signs, verses 22. Surah Al-Buruj or the zodiacal sign, chapter 85 verses 22. Number 86, Surah At-Tariq or the night visitant, verses 7. Number 86, Surah Tariq, the night visitant, chapter verses 17. Surah Tariq or the night visitant, chapter 86 verses 17. Number 87, Surah Al-Ala, the Most High, verses 19. Surah Al-Ala, the Most High, chapter 87 verses 19. Number 88, Surah Al-Ghashiyah or the overwhelming event, verses 26. Surah Al-Ghashiyah or the overwhelming event, chapter 88 verses 26. Number 89, Surah Al-Fajr or the dawn, verses 30. Surah Al-Fajr or the dawn, verses 89, chapter 89 verses 30. Surah Al-Fajr or the dawn, chapter 89 verses 30. Number 90, Surah Al-Balad or the city of Makkah, verses 20. Surah Al-Balad or the city of Makkah, chapter 90 verses 20. Number 91, Surah Ash-Shams or the sun, chapter 91. Surah Shams or the sun, verses 15. Surah Shams or the sun, chapter 91 verses 15. Number 92, Surah La'il or the night, chapter 21. Surah La'il or the night, chapter 92 verses 21. Not the chapter 21, it's verses 21. Number 93, Surah Zuha, the glorious morning light, verses 11. Surah Zuha or the glorious morning light, chapter 93 verses 11. Number 94, Surah Al-Inshariya. It's written Shara, but actually it's Inshariya. Number 94, Surah Al-Inshariya or the expansion, verses 8. Surah Al-Inshariya or the expansion, chapter 94 verses 8. Number 95, Surah At-Tin or the fig, verses 8. Surah At-Tin or the fig, chapter 95 verses 8. Number 96, Surah Al-Alaka or the leech-like clot, verses 19. Surah Al-Alaka or the leech-like clot, chapter 96 verses 19. Number 97, Surah Al-Qadr, the night of power or honor, verses 5. Surah Al-Qadr, the night of power or honor, chapter 97 verses 5. Number 98, Surah Al-Ba'ina, the clear evidence, verses 8. Number 98, Surah Al-Bayyinah, or the Clear Evidence, chapter 98, verses 8. Number 99, Surah Al-Zilzilah, the Convulsion, verses 8. Surah Al-Zilzilah, Zilzil, or the convulsion. Surah Al-Zilzil, or the Convulsion, chapter 99, verses 8. Number 100, Surah Al-Adiyat, those that run, verses 11. Surah Al-Adiyat, or those that run, chapter 100, verses 11. 101, Surah Al-Qariya, the day of clamor, verses 11. Surah Al-Qariya, or the day of clamor, chapter 101, verses 11. Number 102, Surah At-Takasur, or the piling up, verses 8. Surah At-Takasur, or the piling up, chapter 102, verses 8. Number 103, Surah Al-Asr, time through ages, verses 3. Surah Al-Asr, or the time through ages, chapter 103, verses 3. Number 104, Surah Al-Humaza, or the scandal monger, verses 9. Surah Al-Humaza, or the scandal monger, chapter 104, verses 9. Number 105, Surah Al-Fil, or the elephant, verses 5. Surah Al-Fil, or the elephant, chapter 105, verses 5. Subhanallah. Surah Quraysh, or the custodians of Kaaba, verses 4. Number 106, Surah Quraysh, or the custodians of Kaaba, verses 4. Surah Quraysh, or the custodians of Kaaba, chapter 106, verses 4. Number 107, Surah Al-Ma'un, or the neighborly needs, verses 7. Surah Al-Ma'un, or the neighborly needs, chapter 107, verses 7. Number 108, Surah Al-Kawthar, or the abundance, chapter verses 3. Number 108, Surah Al-Kawthar, or the abundance, verses 3. Surah Al-Kawthar, or the abundance, chapter 108, verses 3. Number 109, Surah Al-Kafirun, those who reject faith, verses 6. Surah Al-Kafirun, those who reject faith, chapter 109, verses 6. Number 110, Surah Nasr, or help, verses 3. Surah Nasr, or help, chapter 110, verses 3. Number 111, Surah Lahab, or the flame, verses 5. Surah Lahab, or the flame, chapter 111, verses 5. Number 112, Surah Al-Ikhlas, or the purity of faith, verses 4. Surah Al-Ikhlas, or the purity of faith, chapter 112, verses 4. Number 113, Surah Al-Falaq, or the dawn, verses 5. Surah Al-Falaq, or the dawn, chapter 113, verses 5. Number 114, Surah An-Nas, the mankind, verses 6. Surah An-Nas, or the mankind, chapter 114, verses 6. Shukr, alhamdulillah. So by this way, Shukr Alhamdulillah, now in this world nobody would be able to say that uh, nobody has ever shown up the surah names and the verses, surah name meaning and how many verses it has got. Uh, so when I was young, nobody was like this to announce in public about these things, but I'm sure many people knew it, but they did not told us in any khutbahs or in any uh, congregation. But nowadays, inshallah, we all are able to learn everything about Al Quran, as this book is for each and every one of this world. It's not only preserved for some special persons. So we all can start analyzing and research on it and do prosper in our life. Amin. Today up to this. So today is a kind of day of celebration for me, because I have completed my one of my tasks. I don't know how far I could complete it properly. Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah accepts my work and bless me as usual. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Thank you.